Okay, welcome back. This is time now for video number 3. We are currently looking at the side pieces now for the 3.5mm jack, HDMI cable, and your power in cable as well. Now, exact same process. We click on the sketch tools that we want to use. We click on the surface that we want to draw on. It rotates it round for us. Now in this case it's probably easier to draw on it like this. We'll zoom in and we're going to start with this 3.5mm jack, which is going to have a center of around about here, and we're just going to draw a rectangle. Now I haven't clicked again, and you'll notice that you should just following me step by step. It's good practice. Okay, so without clicking, it allows you now to say that the length of that 3.5mm jack in total is 15mm. So type in 15, press the tab button above the caps lock key, and the width is 7mm in total. Okay, now that is sticking out 3mm over the edge of the PCB. So I can click on the PCB, I can click on the edge of this, and I say that that distance is 3. Press enter. Okay, where is that now in relation to the sides? So, on the drawing that I've got here in front of me from the Raspberry Pi company, it states that the dimension from the center point right here to the end line over here should be 53mm. Type in 53.5, enter. Okay, next we're on to the HDMI cable. Alright, so again we know that we've got a rectangle to draw. It just about overhangs the side slightly. The width, or sorry, the depth that's highlighted in blue on my screen is 12mm. Press tab on your keyboard again, and the width is again 15mm. 15, enter. Okay, next thing we need to do is see how far it is sticking out over the end of the PCB, and it looks like it's 2mm again. So again we use this dimension tool, we click on the end, we click on the end of this, and we say that the dimension between those two should be 2mm, enter. Okay, now the distance from this center point here till this end line here should be 32, enter. Okay, the next dimension that we need to use is for the power in. Okay, and again it is overlapping the edge, so I'm going to draw the center of it here, drag it out over the end of it here, and I'm going to say that the depth of it is 6mm. Tab, and the width of it is 7mm. 7, enter. Okay, now the depth from this line to this line should be 1mm. Okay. Okay then, right, now again as the last one, and if you look in from the side there, you'll be able to see that the dimensions for each of these things are different. For example, the height of this one's supposed to be 6 millimeters, the height of this one's supposed to be 6.5, and the height of this one, not actually stated on their drawings, is 3 millimeters. Okay, so what I'm going to do then in that case is I am going to press escape on my keyboard. I'm going to draw a box around everything, including the center point. Okay, I press Ctrl C, and I'm going to go to model. I'm going to go to extrude, and I'm going to select any one of these. I'm going to do one. The first one there is the headphone jack, which is going to be 6, and I'm going to press enter. And now we go to sketch. We click on any of the drawing tools again, draw on the plane that you want to draw on, press Ctrl V, and it should paste everything in the exact spot as the first time. We go to 3D model, we click on extrude. This one here is going to be 6.5. Press on OK. Again, click on the sketch tools, click on the top of the PCB, the side you want to draw on, click on Ctrl V, that's paste, or you can go edit paste, it doesn't make any difference as long as you paste. Now this drawing here for the power source, I did measure it and I got 3 millimeters or 2.5. We'll go with 2.5, it's probably closer. Click on extrude, click on that surface, and that needs to be 2.5. Press on OK. There we go. Now it's a very rough, very rough PCB, but that's all of the components that you need to worry about in terms of giving an outlet on your enclosure. At that stage, we're pretty much finished with the drawing section of that. If you really want to add in the detail with the boxes here, that's fine, and with the hole in the middle of that, you can do that. If you want to round the edges of this, by all means have at it, but as a real rough guide, I think we're pretty close there. So what we're going to do is just go to save, and now we can start looking at how to render. Okay, so we can go environment, we can click on Inventor Studio, and we can start looking at things that what can we do with this drawing. Alright, so we've got Inventor Studio open. We can go to view, we can cast some shadows down on the ground. Okay, so we'll put on all of the shadows. We can get it looking realistic, so we'll take off all of the lines and stuff. Okay, what else can we do here? We're looking for this appearance tab here, so if we click on that, we can actually find some materials that we can make each of the sections. Like these parts here should be some kind of a metal. Alright, so we can click on metal just as a very basis. It's most likely that they're using aluminium. Sorry, so let's go down and find some aluminium. Does it look polished? Not really, so it's kind of a flat aluminium color. Alright, and you can add appearance to specific sections, or you can click on each of the areas that you think should be aluminium. So we can click on all of these areas in here if you want to. Now I am highlighting multiple surfaces at one time by clicking on the shift button on my keyboard and clicking on each of the areas that I want to highlight. Alright, and I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to click on this up arrow here. I'm going to click on OK. Alright, there's probably not much of a difference going on there now, to be fair. So what about the plastic? Okay, what about if we say, oh, that surface got to have this type of finish on it? Okay, now realistically, you can have as much fun as you want with that. I'm not going to spend all day showing you how to render on here. There are plenty of videos on YouTube and things for you to play around with to figure that out. But as a very rough guide, that's how you get into it. You then go over to render. You can go into render image. You can set up all of your render settings. Make sure that you're sitting up and around about here, not much more than that. Chances are, really, your output, so where you're going to save it to, and the chances are, really, if you're up in high, you have got a good chance that it is going to crash on you. So before you click on this render button, you need to click on save, because you will lose your work otherwise. Alright, so save it, and that's that done for the PCB. You can play around with as much rendering as you want, but remember, you've got your enclosure to design as well. Okay, I'll catch you in the next video. Well done, you're progressing well.